June the 3rd. We're glad that you could come join with us and hope you're doing well and looking forward to our parking lot service this weekend. We're in the Ten Commandments, and today we're going to look at the second commandment. You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain. Again, this is common sense stuff. I have been surprised to learn there is not a lot of common sense used in theology and biblicism, unfortunately. But you shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain. Now, this has generally meant that you don't give God a last name that starts with a D. Okay, if you understand what I'm trying to say. That's generally what it meant. Or you said something, oh, this or that, and use the name of God. That's not what it's talking about. I'm sorry, but that's what's being preached. Oh, it's bigger than that. Now, is that encompassed? Should we misuse God's name? No, we shouldn't. We should use it in a respectful way. But taking God's name in vain is much deeper than this. It goes back to an ancient Hebrew concept called Barat Karut, and I am probably slaughtering the Hebrew there. You will have to forgive me. My hillbilly accent doesn't work very well with Hebrew sometimes. But Barat Karut, it's where we actually get the root term for the carotid artery. Okay? In the ancient times, if we wanted to do a transaction, if we wanted to sell something, or you wanted to buy something, or I did, vice versa. Let's just say I had 10 sheep. And you like my sheep. You saw my sheep. You think, hey, I like those sheep. I want to buy them. We settle on a price. Okay, 10 pieces of silver, 1 piece of silver for each sheep. Sounds like a good deal. Let's do it. We would write down on a tablet, on a scroll, and the price and the deal. And then there would be an inner scroll that once it was broken by, because if we didn't hold it, we'd go to a magistrate or somebody and they would break it, a judge would break it, so he could see, did they actually withhold what's going to be the same thing? Just written on both scrolls. But here's the thing. How do we know we're going to uphold the deal? I may live 10, 15 miles from you. Now, that's not like getting in a car, putting the sheep in a truck and going somewhere. It's a whole lot different. That's a day or so trip, okay? And how do we know we're going to uphold this deal? You've heard the term cut a check, cut a deal. Well, here, let's cut a deal. Okay, so what they would do is this. They would generally sacrifice a bull or some animal, would cut it in half. This is the cutting of the deal. And you would sacrifice to your God. Now, not everybody worshiped the same God, but let's just say we both worship the God of the Hebrews, Yahweh. Yahweh. The great God Yahweh, okay, God himself, that is God's name. And let's say we both did that. Well, what we would do is this. We would sacrifice, you would sacrifice to Yahweh, I would sacrifice, and we would swear by Yahweh, because we can't swear by our own self. You got to swear by something greater than yourself. So we would swear to Yahweh that we would withhold our part of the bargain. You say, okay, I'll give you 5 pieces of silver now for the sheep, and then on full delivery, I'll give you the other 5 pieces there. That sounds good. Well, I could keep the sheep. I could, I could come and you could take my sheep, not pay me my 5 other pieces of silver. There's lots of ways this could go, but it's proved that we believed in God and that we trusted God and that we took God's name upon us, because as a believer of Yahweh, we had just sacrificed, made this deal, and then if I don't uphold the deal, what have I done? I have taken the name of my God in vain. Because I said his name don't mean a lot. It's not worth anything. God has one thing, my friends, his name. That's all he's got. And it's the most important thing to him. And when you become a Christian in the waters of baptism, you take the name of Christ upon you. You become part of the mystical body of Christ. And when we go out and we are not what God has called us to be, when we are not true disciples, if I lie, if I cheat, if I steal, if I kill, if I commit adultery, if I do any of these things, what have I done? I have taken God's name in vain. If I go out and I steal and I act like some, I'm just going to call it this, a rear end out in public, and I treat people badly, I have taken God's name in vain. It's big. It's serious. And we need to understand that when we take the name of Christ upon us, it's serious. It's a promise that's been made. We do this same thing of keeping our promises through the waters of baptism through confirmation, through marriage, through many other things. And we need to be serious about our promises to God, because if we don't keep our promises, then we have what? We have taken his name in vain, and we have broken his law. I pray today that this might enhance your knowledge of God and help you, and that God will bless and keep you this day and all.